Hi, my name is Chef Sherry Ronning and I'm here to show you how to make smoked pulled pork on a pellet smoker. Let's get started. This only takes 5 ingredients. You can switch it up a little bit. It's a pretty versatile recipe. It's just all about the technique of how to cook it. So I'm going to give you those tips and show you what I do to make an awesome pulled pork recipe. When I make my smoked pulled pork on the smoker, I like to purchase a large chunk of pork, and I like to use a pork shoulder that has the bone in it. You can use any type of pork meat that you would like, but you want like a big chunk of it and you want to have like fat marbled through it. A pork tenderloin isn't going to be a good option for you because it does have a little bit of the pork or the fat on the outside, but the fat is not marbled all through it. So you really want to get a large chunk of meat, usually between 9-10 pounds is a good size, and you want the fat marbled through it. So let's get started. I'm going to show you what I do to prepare mine. First, you're going to unwrap the pork from the wrapper. I usually like to start on using a sheet pan to start with. I will take the pork and take it out of the wrapper and set it on a sheet pan. Then I will take my seasoning. You can mix and match any type of seasonings that you would like. My seasoning of choice is Lowry's seasoned salt and Morton's seasoning, and then a good barbecued rub along with mustard is what I'm going to be using in today's recipe. So you're going to sprinkle Lowry's, and then you're going to use the seasoned Morton's Nature seasoning, or you can use salt and pepper, whatever seasoning that you would like to season your meat with. And then I'm going to take the yellow mustard and smear it all over the top of it. And one thing is, like, I detest yellow mustard, but once this is all cooked up and when you take and tear it apart and eat it, you will not taste any mustard. I do not taste the mustard seasoning at all when I'm eating it because I do not like mustard, but this is just a perfect recipe. When you're smoking it, it adheres to the outside of the pulled pork and just gives it a really nice crust is what you want on your pulled pork, your finished pulled pork. You're going to take the mustard and squirt it on top of your pork recipe. So just be very generous with it, and you want a full covering of mustard all over the sides and all over the top of your pork shoulder. And then after you get the mustard on top of it, then you're going to take the barbecue seasoning of your choice. I do have the recipe for barbecue seasoning on my website. You can use that, or you can use packaged or any type of barbecue seasoning that you like, that you may have in your cupboard. And you're going to generously sprinkle it all over the top of the mustard. So you want the barbecue seasoning to completely cover the mustard and even on the sides. When you are making the smoked pulled pork, there are certain temperatures that you're going to want to know about. So you're going to start smoking at 250 degrees for your smoker, and then you're going to put the pulled pork on the smoker and you're going to shut it, and then you're just going to, I have a temperature probe that I put inside into the meat, and it's connected to the outside, so I don't have to continuously open and shut the smoker, and it's gonna tell me what temperature that meat is. So then the next temperature that you're gonna want is 160 degrees for your pork, your smoked pork. That is going to be the temperature that you're going to want to wrap your pork in foil to finish it off with. So it's going to take roughly, for like a 9-10 pound piece of pork meat, it's going to take roughly about 6 hours to get it up to the 160 degrees. So it's going to be give or take depending on your smoker, this and that, but that's roughly what I found is how long it takes to do a piece of meat that size. Once the temperature gets to 160 degrees, I'm going to show you what I do with it after that out by the smoker. So let's go check to see what is happening on the smoker. Okay, I've had the pulled pork on the smoker. It's been 6 hours now. It's at 160 degrees. So I'm gonna show you the next step that I do with this. We're gonna wrap it in foil. So I have a sheet pan here. I have my lifters that I'm gonna lift the pork up off of the smoker, and I'm gonna set the pork here. We're gonna wrap it in foil and put it back on the grill. So let's look at it. Ooh, look how beautiful that looks. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this out here. And I'm gonna carefully lift it up and set it on the sheet pan here. So we're gonna go like this. I'm gonna set it like that. And I'm just gonna gently wrap it up. We're just trying to hold the juices inside, and this is gonna help it cook faster. So we've had it for 6 hours on the smoker, and it's got quite a bit of smoke flavor into it. So then I'm gonna take and put this back into it like that. Set it down. We're gonna keep it at the 250 degrees, and we're gonna let this smoke until it reaches 195 degrees. Once it reaches 195 degrees with the internal temperature of the pulled pork, then we're gonna pull it off and it'll be ready to eat. It's now been 8.5 hours since I've started the pulled pork this morning on the Rectac grill. So it is now came up to the temperature, internal temperature of 195 degrees. So it's time to pull this off of the smoker. So I'm just gonna grab my pan that I'm gonna put it on. We're gonna open it up and check it out. Normally when you do pulled pork like this and have it wrapped in foil, I would suggest leaving it rest for maybe a half an hour to an hour before you open the foil up. But I want to show you what it looks like, so I'm gonna open it up and we're gonna take a peek at it when I pull it off. So, and then afterwards, and I'm just gonna quickly wrap it up and take it in, and that's what we're having for dinner tonight. So look at all that smoke, and we're gonna pull out the probe here, the temperature probe, and I'm gonna use my claws here. You can use gloves, oven mitts to get this off, but I'm going to just gently lift it off and set it there. Alrighty, I'm gonna shut this up. And let's take a peek at it. See what it looks like. It smells amazing. Oh, look at that. Look how amazing that is. There's all kinds of juices in there. Let's pull it apart and see. Look how easy that is to pull apart there. It just is so tender. I'm gonna get a piece here. You can see it's really, really warm. I'm just gonna shred a little piece because I want to try it. Look how falling apart tender that is. The pink there, you can see the difference in the color of the meat. This is like a brown color, and then on the outside, that's where the smoke is coming into the meat. So that's like a little pink color there. That's exactly what you want. That's perfectly smoked. Look how nice and tender that is and falling apart it is. Oh my gosh, this is so good. So good. So, oh, it's got great smoke flavor. I'm just gonna wrap this back up. Oh, I gotta steal some of this. It's nice and hot. Oh. I'm gonna wrap this back up, and I'm gonna go in the house and prepare dinner with this. There is a lot of things that I make with this pulled pork. So like right now, I would take and go inside and I would make like a mashed potatoes and gravy and serve this pork this way. There's so much here for my family that we eat off of it for several days. And so I will make pulled pork grilled cheese sandwiches. I've made pulled pork mashed or pulled pork, macaroni and cheese on the smoker. It is so, so good. And you can make pulled pork tacos. There's so many things that you can make with this. And a lot of times we'll take and we'll eat on it for several days. And then when we get tired of eating it with it, if there's still some left over, then I will take and put in a vacuum sealed bag, like individual serving sizes. And usually about, probably with our family, I do like 1 pound bags, and vacuum seal it and throw it in the freezer. And so then when I want to make pulled pork mac and cheese, then I just pull that out of the freezer, and I don't have to actually go through the process of making the pulled pork. I already have it, and then just put it on the mac and cheese, and it's a very simple meal that I can make for my family. So I hope you try this recipe. If subscribe to my page, like this, share this with your friends, and go to my website FromMichiganToTheTable.com and check around for all different other kind of smoker recipes that I have. I also have Blackstone griddle recipes and Midwestern cuisine recipes. So just poke around my website. You'll find all kinds of amazing recipes there. And I hope you enjoy your pulled pork, and we'll see you later. Bye.